Today on Sports Edition, we talk to my good buddy, Paul Banks. He has a new book out, a great title, No, I Cannot Get You Free Tickets. It's a great sports book. And we'll also talk to Blake Alexander about singing the national anthem at sporting events. Don't touch that dial. Sports Edition starts right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Edition. I'm Kenny McReynolds. It is so good to be back after being off for 7 weeks. It is great to be back in the saddle again. I tell you what, when I was off for the last month or so, I had a chance to read a book. No, I Can't Get You Free Tickets. It is the greatest title of any book I've ever seen, because being in sports, people think you print tickets and always ask for free tickets. That's not the case. The man that wrote this book, Paul M. Banks, is with me. And Paul, this may be the best title of any book that I've ever had a chance to read. It's not all about people asking you for free tickets. It's some really great stories in here. But I have to ask, why the title?
I felt like I could have something where I could just show it to everybody, and it's like having a business card or something. Like, there's the info. That's all you need to know, because somewhere along the way, I found that people who don't work in the field that we do, they think because we're there and we're getting paid, that means that they can just show up for free, and they don't see how it works. And it's gotten to be so crazy that back in 2010, when I was covering the Final Four in Indianapolis, I had an editor who went through the process of getting credentials, and she referred to them as tickets. And I'm like, great, so I'll be up in the nosebleed or something of the Hoosier Dome or that Lucas Oil Field by that time. But that's when I realized people have to understand that, you know, we're here to do a job. And I wanted to have a title that really rolled off the tongue and really caught people's attention, because it's a sports media book, it's a sports industry book more than it is a sports book. And right. Hopefully, the rest of the book lives up to the title.
Well, it's the greatest title of any sports book I've ever had. I mean, because so many people, Kenny, give me a ticket. All-Star game, give me a ticket. Well, okay, I'll see if I can get you one. It costs about $1,500. I mean, would you like? And then all of a sudden, well, pump the brake, pump the brake, pump the brake. Hey, why did you decide to write the book?
I wanted to put together a message about how the industry has changed and where it's going. And I felt the best way to do it was to go through all my experiences about over a decade in the field. So first I kind of started with some of my greatest hits, the stuff that went viral, the stuff that got a lot of attention. And then I also did a travel section. I think that would be probably a dream job for just about anybody, certainly for me. There's also a socio-political section, which kind of reflected, you know, I think from like 2016 on, it's been kind of impossible to separate sports from politics, and you kind of have to take a side. There's also the interviews. I felt like the interviews could almost stand as their own book if you got more of different subjects when they were truly candid, because that's always kind of the biggest challenge. A lot of the guys in the book, I got them at times when they're not beholden. So, and a couple of them had some adult beverages too, so that also helps.
And I mean, you put in a book about Jake Arrieta and his tweets about the President of the United States. And a lot of people think athletes should stay out of politics, but they're human, they're people too. And I'm not saying I agree with anything Jake Arrieta said in his tweets, but he's a human being.
Right.
And he has the right to do so. Do you think that, is it a good or a bad thing that you had to write about political stuff along with these athletes?
Oh, I think it's a good thing, because it allowed me to expand beyond the box score and beyond. I mean, technology today, some of the sports stories are easier to write because it's kind of just churning stats. But when you have something that's more evergreen, something that resonates, and 2016 was the perfect, I mean, you had the most divisive presidential election we've ever seen. A few days after the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. So you had like the biggest sports story you and I will ever see, witness, live through, experience, and then you had this monumental socio-political event. And I thought when Jake Arrieta made his tweet, all right, that's his opinion, I don't care for it, I don't agree with it, but then when he did his explanation later and he tried to walk it back, that bothered me more, because he was trying to say that he wasn't standing up for any candidate or anything. It's like, well, you gloated, so you took a side, which,
Right.
you know what? Take a side. Maybe that's where the industry is now going. Maybe we're going to see PR people and publicists and everything. Maybe they'll kind of loosen the constraints on some of these guys and let them take a stand on certain issues.
Well, I don't know. In the old days they did, but now those PR people get a chokehold on the athletes. Hey, let's take a break real quick. The book, No, I Can't Not Get You Free Tickets. I love it. I can't get you free tickets. Hey, let's take a break. Back with more in a minute.